it's moving so fast. I mean, I have to pinch myself sometimes.
I love
I'm
that.
just so grateful.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I'm
that
so scared because it really is sort of taking a leap of faith and getting a studio like this in Sausalito. And, there's a lot of overhead and it's the business side of it. But you know what? It's like the most exciting time of my life right now. And it's the latter part of my life, which is,
isn't that fantastic?
it's awesome. Yeah, it
That's
really is.
fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm just going to interject and say, yeah, I think for me, this is the most exciting part of my life. And it's because of art. It's,
Yep.
I was a graphic designer in Vancouver and we moved here 10 years ago and to do something completely different, blue sky. That's why we came here. Let's just fling it in the air and
Right.
we started a guest suite, but that gave me a reason to paint. And because as a graphic designer, I'm used to working for someone else, but that was a door in. And I'm just having such a great experience in life because I've finally come back to what it was that I wanted to do when I was like 14 or something.
Right. And I got to tell you that it's just like painting, just the act of painting, and like more than I ever have, like daily, or get in the studio 5 times a week. The actual act of painting, this conduit type of relationship you have, where you open up and you actually let your ego go, like things are flowing through you, and that opens up the rest of your other parts of your life.
Absolutely.
That's when things started to just come, like opportunities and good things started to happen. I mean, you had to live a little bigger, which gets scary,
Yeah.
but it's the way you want to live. But it's all due to, and I find when I get too involved in the business side of it, or I'm not in the studio doing painting, I lose that energy of flow and things coming to me.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah, because we
Totally.
do have to do the practical stuff too. But if you lose sight of that, I'm going to say in spirit energy, that thing that connects you to nature, your curiosity, your creativity, if you lose sight of that, and we do have to sometimes because we can focus on the thing,
Right. We got to do that too. Right.
yeah. It feels different. And you do feel that kind of like, don't you find it takes a while to reconnect again? It could be.
Oh yeah, it's I'm going through it a little bit. I had the whole summer to just say it's time to paint and replenish my inventory because that's my biggest problem right now.
Okay, good problem.
Yeah,
Sort
but
of.
still it is a problem because if you don't have that, you don't have anything. So I was like, oh, I got the whole summer. This is going to be great. And then I just hit like a block. And I just, that's why teaching is so great.
Mhm.
Because the things that I tell my students, I don't always do them.
Yeah.
So I have to I got to walk the walk a little bit. And so I hear myself talking to my students and that I can talk to myself about this. It helps.
This is so good to hear because
Yeah.
I find that too. I'll
Yeah.
be like, check your values, Pauline, because you tell
Right.
them.
Totally. Totally. I mean, I think that in a way, every artist should do something similar to that,
Hmm.
or at least have a way where they can reflect on going back to, the principles of what you need to be looking at. And that's why teaching is really good, or taking lots of workshops. I think even like really established artists, it's a great practice to go get a different experience somewhere.
Yeah.
And yeah, for sure.
Um, I think that I talk a lot about, tapping into your intuition, but then also being very analytical and doing this dance.
Yeah.
And I am quite a practical person. I was working by the age of 10. My dad had this huge dairy farm, my mom and dad. So I was working before school and after school, hardly had time for homework. But so I know how to work. The thing for me is that I've done a lot of in the last 10, 15 years. Well, even more than that, listening to my intuition. And that's been teased out more in the last 10 years in art. But it still has to be this like into it creatively, but then out of it you know, asking questions and looking at it from a strategic point of view. And that kind of, you know, dance is sort of what you're talking about a bit, because
Right.
if you teach, then you kind of have that access to that already, because you have to convey it elsewhere. But you can do it for yourself as well if you remind
Right.
yourself to
No.
ask yourself
And I
what's
really get involved with like looking at the students' work. Like a lot of times after the class is over, I'll sit there for an hour after they leave and sit in front of their work and really look at it and get like absorbed and try to almost start to feel what it is they're doing.
yeah,
Always in a positive way,
absolutely.
because I'm not looking to critique it or anything. I'm just looking for what really works, and then giving them that confidence to do that. And that's what I always need to do. Like, I need to sit back. First of all, I just need to let it flow.
Yeah.
Then you got to sit back and look at what you got. But you got to step back, because you've got to start to see what's working, and not like, you need to take that time to do that.